So normally when I go into thrift stores, I go in, I check the new racks, I figure out what the new color tab is, and then I go through pretty much the entire store and I only look for the new color. But today we are going to go through every single rack. Cheers. Hey everybody, I forgot my mics, but I really wanted to do a fun video today because I am just feeling really inspired. I have been wanting to do this challenge for a while, but just never found like the gusto to actually do a video like this. But I think today's that day. Sorry I'm starting out in the car. I've seen a few people comment like, ugh, why is every reseller starting their videos in cars now? What's the problem with it? Like, I genuinely want to know why people don't like it when people start in their cars. Is it typically because the video ends up being like a lazy, bad, not great content video? There's something that like happened? Or is it just you're seeing it so often that you're like, yeah, I'm kind of over this? I can relate either way, but most of my videos start in the office, so I'm wondering if people are getting tired of those. Anyways, it is a very cold, brisk, rainy day. Had to get some hot coffee. Trying it with macadamia milk, which honestly not bad. My sister recommended it and it's pretty good. Let me know what your milk preference is down below. I started the day not feeling so motivated. As you can see, I'm kind of a mess today, but I'm trying to let my skin breathe. But that day's turned around because this morning I had a live one-on-one coaching call with somebody from our group. If you guys didn't know, we do giveaways in the group. One of those giveaways is live one-on-one coaching calls with a coach of your choice. And this time the winner chose me. So very excited to do that. It was my first live coaching call. Actually, the first winner chose Bethany and Sean, which I thought was really cool. So today I had that coaching call very early in the morning with one of the members, and it's a chance to talk about whatever they want to talk about, whatever problems they're having in their business, whatever they want more insight on. We're able to screen share so we can like really dive into some different stuff. It was really good. It was so good that even though it was supposed to be an hour, I was like, you know what, let's keep going, and it ended up being an hour and a half. We talked about a lot of stuff. We were able to actually pull their own numbers and like do a deep dive onto what their actual average sale price was, a little bit about sell-through rate and the types of items that they're selling, what their goals are. We also talked a lot about using the different like eBay promotions and markdowns and stuff like that in seasonality. So really, really cool, feeling very inspired and motivated after that. But at this point, it's a little late in the morning. Normally I like to hit multiple thrift stores in a day, but I think today I'm finally going to do the video concept that I've wanted to do for a while, which is go to one thrift store and go through every single hanger. You might be asking, Kaylee, why in the world would you want to do that? That's not part of your business model. And you're right, it is not part of my business model. I'll tell you more about that when we get to the store. Alright guys, we made it. I am just about to go inside. Normally when I go into thrift stores, I go in, I check the new racks, I figure out what the new color tab is, and then I go through pretty much the entire store, men's, women's, shoes, handbags. I usually skip kids. I kind of like glance down it, but I don't go through the whole section. So mostly just men's and women's stuff, and then shoes, handbags, and I only look for the new color. But if something catches my eye that is the older color and it stands out and it looks interesting, I will obviously look it up. But today we are going to go through every single rack. The reason I wanted to do this challenge is to figure out the analytics and the math and figure out, is it actually more beneficial to go through the new racks and do the method that I do with the new colors? Or am I actually missing a bunch of stuff? A lot of you guys have told me that you go through every single item and you find really great stuff. I usually combat that with, yes, but how much time did you spend doing that when you could have gotten to other places? I have done both methods in the past, so I do have a good gauge, but it's been a while since I have tested out the every single hanger method. I've been going to this Goodwill every single week for a few weeks now, so pretty much I have gone through all of the newer stuff one time a week, which means that after I go later on that week, if they're still putting new stuff out, there's a possibility that I might miss stuff. Today, what we are going to do is we are going to go through the entire store, including the new racks, and whatever I end up picking up, we are going to do some analytics here on the screen of what was new color and what was old color. We are also going to calculate and compare the amount of time that we're spending in the store compared to my original method. I'll give you guys some more information on how long it normally takes me on a regular sourcing day, where I'm focusing on new colors and going to multiple places at the end of the video. Let's go ahead and go in there. I'm gonna go to new racks first, and then we're gonna start going through the entire store. Breakdown at the end of the video. So as you guys can see, as I am checking out these new rolling racks that came out, the store is humongous. It has so many items in it. You can also spot some of the new racks over here, which we are about to go to, but I'm just checking these shoe racks to make sure there isn't anything new that came out, handbags or shoes wise, or possibly even hard goods that I might want to snatch up. So as you guys can see, the store has quite a few new racks on it, which makes it really easy to spot the new color. The color today of the new stuff that's being put out is purple. All right, so new color is purple. So that's the color that I would normally only look for. Okay guys, so I've been here for about 35-40 minutes, and this is what I found on the new racks. Now I'm going to start going through stuff. Normally I'd probably leave at this point, just check the ends of the aisles for new colors, because the store isn't super fruitful in the aisles even with new colors, but we're going to go through every single thing, starting with the men's department. Guys, it is not going well. I'm not even halfway through the men's department, and I've been here for a while, and I've only found 2 things, both of which are kind of low grabs, and they were women's items. I might take back what I said. Is it real though? No, it is not. Alright, I finally found something worth getting. No tag, but a vintage single stitch pullover graphic American Thunder shirt. Really cool. Okay guys, here's the deal. I just finished the men's department. It only took me like all day. Not really. It took a whole hour to go through just the men's department. The women's department is much larger. I don't know why I thought I could get through the entire store in one day, but here's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to go through every single item like hanger by hanger. I'm going to switch just because I don't have enough time. I have to leave at a certain point. I'm gonna go and just look at every aisle, not look at certain colors, just kind of browse along the tops of the items and look at everything, but probably not pull every single item. I'm not doing well. I will obviously give you my full thoughts later, but it's not going well. Okay guys, so here's the deal. I finally finished in there. I did not get through everything because I have to go home. I think if I would have stayed in there and like actually gone through every single hanger like I was doing in the men's department, I think I would have probably spent like 6 hours in there. It's a pretty large store and the aisles are packed. I did manage to go through a couple of the women's tops, hanger by hanger. I also went to the dress section, and then I skated through the jeans section as well and the women's shoes. So I got through a lot, but as far as hanger by hanger, in the women's department, I only did a couple of aisles like that. But otherwise, I wasn't at all looking for new colors in the aisles, just kind of skating through with my eyes on every item to see what I could find. Started this journey at the thrift store at around 11:30. It is now just past 2:30, so I spent 3 hours in one store and didn't even get through the whole thing. Typically, because I have to drive about an hour and a half each way, it takes me about at least 3 hours of driving round trip. With driving in between stores, lunch, all of that, I usually only end up actually thrifting for about 4 hours on an 8-hour shift. 3 hours compared to 4 hours, I definitely could have put 1 more hour into it. But regardless, I think the results will speak for themselves. I personally do not recommend doing the every single item method, especially hanger by hanger, but even not touching the hanger, just looking at every single item and spending a lot of time there takes so much time. I'm going to talk about the results here in just a second, but normally I am in and out of a store in about 40 minutes, sometimes an hour. I was in there for 3 hours. Normally when I do my method, which I'm just going to call the cherry picking method for the rest of this video, when I do the new color cherry picking method, I normally get to 2 to 3 stores, sometimes even 4 stores, and I go through the entire store, but I'm only really looking for the new colors and anything that catches my eye. I would say on a regular week where, you know, it's normal average sourcing, I probably average about 30 items. Some days it's much less than that. Some days I get like 70 items. So I feel like an average of 30 to 40 items is about right. That is going to multiple stores and looking for the new racks. My average cost of goods lately has been about $40 of what I intend to list each item for. And so even if I find a smaller amount, usually because the cost of goods is really awesome, I can usually expect an intended gross sales amount of at least $1,000 for a whole day's worth of sourcing. Today, we spent 3 hours at one place. I only got 12 items. 7 of which were the new color. 6 of the 7 I found on the new racks, and 1 item, which was that all over graphic vintage t-shirt that was really cool. I'm probably gonna list that for about $50. That was actually a purple tag, so it was new and I probably would have found it anyways. The 5 other items I did find by going hanger to hanger. However, most of them were like 25, 30 bucks. So lower tier in my opinion. There was a Reese top that I found that was an older color, and that's probably going to go for 50, so that was my best find in the older stuff. But, you guys, finding less than half of what I normally do in a day and spending that amount of time in there, not worth it. In my opinion. Do what works for you. I used to do this method and I used to spend 3 to 4 hours in one store, and I'm realizing why I switched to the method that I do now, because I'm able to find a lot more stuff. Typically it's much better stuff that I'm excited to list, higher average sale price, and just quite frankly is way less stressful for me. I know a lot of people think that going hanger to hanger is more relaxed and you can kind of chill and go at your own pace, but I found myself getting really anxious when I was in there, and let me know if you guys can relate to this. Sorry, I'm kind of like screaming what I'm saying because I don't have my mics right now and I want to make sure you guys can hear me. Let me know if you guys can relate to this. I'd been in there for a while and I was not even halfway through the men's department when I did that check-in with you guys. And after that check-in, I kept going through the men's department and I just started feeling like overwhelming dread. I felt like there was a lot of pressure on me and I was like, I have been here for so long and I have nothing to show for it. And that was very overwhelming and anxiety ridden for me, because I knew I was spending a lot of time, I wasn't getting much, and it really seemed like my drive was not worth it. I could have been doing something else and making a lot more money. And it just really felt like I wasn't seeing the fruits of my labor. Well, I think for a lot of people, going very slow and looking at every single item seems like it's more relaxed and less stressful. For me, I felt a lot of stress because I knew I wasn't working to my full potential and getting everything that I could within the time I was spending. That's just me though. Like I said, I've done both methods now, and I thought it would be really interesting to try this again compared to the new method that I'm doing, which is only looking for the new colors. If you want to know my opinion is that the new color method is best, super efficient, and I find way better stuff. And for me, less stressful. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Was that the outcome that you were expecting? Oh yeah, my total for today was about $400 in expected gross sales. Remember, I can usually at least expect $1,000, oftentimes much more than that. On my good days, I am getting an expected gross amount of $3,000 to $4,000 for one day's worth of sourcing. So for me, 400 is like really not worth my time, in my opinion, for the drive that I have to do. Let me know down in the comments what you guys thought about this challenge and the comparison of going to new racks and shopping only for the newer color versus going through everything. If you guys have never tried doing the new color method, I highly recommend it. Give it a try for a couple of weeks. It can seem very slow the first time you try it, but keep at it for a couple of weeks and let me know if your sourcing gets better. That's all for now. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.